Good afternoon, gardeners, and welcome back to Growing with Professor Brown. Have you ever wondered what tool you should use for a specific job? Maybe you were curious what the heck an asparagus fork is. Or maybe you were out shopping for tools and you were wondering which one you should purchase. Well, we're going to talk about these questions and more as we explore our regenerative gardening principle number 5. Use appropriate technology. Stick around. Let's talk about something that matters just as much as which tool you use: how well it's made. You don't need the fanciest gear to be a good gardener, but a quality tool, that can change everything. It lasts longer, feels better in your hand, and makes the work easier. I've broken cheap tools within weeks, but a well-made tool can be sharpened, repaired, and even passed down. Let me show you what that looks like. Let's start with something silly. You wake up in the morning and decide to make some toast. You go to butter it. Do you reach across the table for the butter knife? Or do you run down to the shed and grab the chainsaw? I use this ridiculous example in my classes to show what inappropriate technology looks like. As Robin Wall Kimmerer, biologist, teacher, and author of Braiding Sweetgrass, has said, "Don't use a shovel when a digging stick will do." The point is, we don't always need more technology. We need the right technology. Sometimes that's a fancy tool. Sometimes it's our own hands. Let's start with two of the most common digging tools: the round point shovel and the flat head shovel. This round point shovel has a curved, tapered edge that lets you cut into the ground, especially if the soil is compacted or dry. It's the kind of shovel you want to use when you're planting trees, turning soil, or digging holes. Now here's a flathead shovel. It looks similar, but notice the squared-off edge. It's awful for digging into the ground, but perfect for scraping, scooping, and cleaning up debris. Watch how easily it scrapes weeds from between bricks, or scoops up piles of leaves. It's also great for edging beds or clearing hardscapes. Using the wrong shovel for the job just makes your life harder. Now, take a look at where the handles connect to the tool heads. Cheap tools often have a weak spot here. A little pressure and the whole thing can twist or snap. But solid tools, they're reinforced. These are built to last, and many of them can be repaired if the handle breaks. Over time, this is what saves money, not rebuying tools that fail under workload. Next, let's look at rakes. A lightweight leaf rake is great for collecting soft, dry debris, like fallen leaves, without damaging your plants or soil. It's gentle and perfect for general cleanup. But when you're working with heavier debris, like damp weeds or thick mulch, you'll want a metal rake. It's sturdier and lets you pull or break up clumps without bending or giving out. The Hula hoe is one of the most underrated tools in the garden. Instead of yanking weeds by hand, you'll use a gentle push-pull motion just under the surface to sever their roots. It's fast, efficient, and doesn't disturb your soil structure too much. I use mine on pathways, around raised beds, and anywhere I want to clean up weeds quickly. If you've never used one, it's a game changer. It's also a great reminder that the simplest solution is often the best. This is my pitchfork, and I wish you could feel the weight of it. It belonged to my great-grandfather, and though I don't know exactly its age, I know it's very old. Tools like this were made to last. No plastic, no shortcuts, just wood, steel, and good design. A pitchfork is essential for turning compost, moving straw or mulch, or lifting clumps of roots. It's a versatile tool with deep history in agriculture. And this one still works like it was made yesterday. Now let's talk hand tools. A standard trowel is probably the most common tool in a gardener's kit. It's great for planting seedlings, transplanting, or mixing soil in containers. But this is my kind of trowel. It's a Japanese-style hori. It has a serrated edge that can slice through roots, a sharp point for digging, and edged measurements for planting at the right depth. I've used mine to divide root balls, cut weeds out at the base, and even measure small spacings in the garden. If I could only bring one hand tool with me, this would be it. These are my Felco pruners. They've been in my family for around 30 years now. My dad bought them decades ago. I've owned cheaper pruners, $10, maybe $15 ones. They usually last a season or two, and then they break. The Felcos, still going strong. And if anything wears down, spring, blade, even the handle, you can replace the part. That's the kind of tool that earns a permanent spot in your toolkit. Now let's talk numbers. My Felco pruners cost around $60, and my dad bought them over 30 years ago. And they're still going strong. Now let's say you bought a cheap pair of $10 pruners every 6 months. That's 2 a year. Over 30 years, you'd spend $600, and you'd have 60 broken tools in the landfill. And no, Felco didn't pay me to say this. They're just really good pruners. That's what I want you to take away. Good tools pay for themselves. And finally, the moment you've been waiting for, the asparagus fork. No, it's not a dainty utensil from a Downton Abbey picnic set. It's also known as an asparagus knife. It's a real harvesting tool that helps you lift asparagus spears out of the soil without snapping them. However, it's also a great weeding tool. Appropriate technology doesn't mean fancy. It means fit for purpose. Choose tools that match the job. Buy fewer things, but buy things that last. And, whenever possible, repair instead of replace. In regenerative gardening, we don't just care for the soil. We care for the things that help us tend it. And sometimes the best tool isn't the newest. It's the one your great-grandfather handed down to you. The right tool, the right job, and the right mindset. Remember that the simplest tool is oftentimes the most regenerative choice. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have a friend who's still chasing a single leaf around the yard with a leaf blower, send them this video. I'll see you next time.